Did that affect you, and how did that affect practices?
Well, no, it didn't affect me. It certainly affected our ability to practice, but we really didn't get hit until I think Wednesday. So Tuesday we actually had a majority of our players here, and we did a lot of 5-on-0 and shot the ball. We had to take off on Wednesday just because of numbers. But yesterday we got everybody back, and the good thing about the virus is I feel like it's been a 24-hour thing, 48 hours at most, and I thought we had a pretty good practice for really not having gone live for 2 to 3 days. So we've got to follow that up with a really good practice today, and then a shoot-around tomorrow before we take on Western Kentucky.
Not that you want your team to be sick, but is it nice to have a little bit of a break after such concentrated action in Florida?
Well, it would have been nice to take advantage of the break.
Western Kentucky comes in with a pretty high-octane offense, pretty good three-point shooting team. What are the biggest challenges that they bring?
Well, just that, defending the three-point line, certainly in transition. They have the green light. They have several players that are capable of pulling up on a dime and shooting from three, shooting from very deep. Those kids are experienced. Harrison Docks and Cosby, two guys that can really shoot the ball with range. Their freshman, Chris McNeil, has a terrific assist-turnover ratio and makes the right decision the majority of the time. And, they've got a four-man Snipes. It's, maybe their best three-point percentage kid on the team. And then you add that with Justin Johnson, who I've already told our players is the best offensive rebounder we've played all year.
It's super early in this season, but you guys are number one in the RPI based on several sites, number 3 by 1. How much do you pay attention to that, and when does it become valuable during a season?
Well, you pay attention because it's thrown in your face. You see it on Twitter, you hear it from, media, but we give it no merit. The last year at this time, I think Wisconsin Green Bay was number 1 in the RPI. So it's irrelevant at this point, in the season. Not enough games have been played. The sample size is too small. We just have to be ready for Saturday and be who we need to be on the floor.
Your team is rebounding very, very well, 5th in the nation in rebounding margin. Has there been any particular player that's taken ownership of that, or do you think it's a collective team effort where everyone's just really trying to grab those boards?
Well, I think we have some outstanding rebounders individually. I think it's been a collective effort in terms of our diligence to block out. I think for the majority of the time we've played, we've kept the ball out of the lane on penetration, which oftentimes can lead to poor positioning when the shot goes up to block out. A large majority of our rebounds have been had by our big guys. Certainly Trey has done an incredible job, whether he's been the 3 or at the 4. James, his rebounds per minute are off the charts. But, our whole concern isn't who's grabbing X amount of rebounds. It's doing your job when the shot goes up, of getting your man off the glass. If a big needs to help on penetration, helping the helper and getting him off the glass. And, again, I keep warning our team, we have not played a really, really good offensive rebounding team to date. We've played a lot of teams that like to go 4 out, 1 in, which means their offensive rebounders are near the three-point line when the shot goes up. We're going to play some teams with some athleticism that play, 2 traditional bigs. Like tomorrow, maybe a little bit undersized, but they'll be closer to the basket when the shot goes up. And then we're going to play some programs that, quite honestly, emphasize offensive rebounding more than maybe some of the teams we have. So, I'm not ready to anoint our team just yet.
With the way Trayvon is playing right now, seemingly a much more aggressive rebounder, is it easier to play the 4 out, 1 in when he's playing that way?
Well, I don't think anything's ever easy, but it makes you more comfortable as a coach when he can defend the position that he's asked to play. And sometimes that, requires him, playing a kid like Kendall Pollard who does his damage 12 feet and in. Sometimes it makes him guard a guy that is a quote-unquote stretch 4 that maybe doesn't bounce it very well, but it's deadly from the 3. And it makes maybe that job a little bit easier than it would for a Sean O'Mara or a James Farr. But Trey's a strong kid. He's also pretty smart. He's been able to keep out of foul troubles. And he does a pretty good job of blocking out, the majority of the time. And so, whether it's on the perimeter or in the post, we never like to think of defense as a one-on-one feat. You know, we always want it to be one-on-two, 1 versus 3 based on our help positioning. But Trey's done a really good job, and it gives you comfort as a coach to play him on those type of challenges.
I guess they're going to honor the 95-96 first-year A-10 team as part of the stuff tomorrow. Is there going to be any chance for your guys to interact with some of those guys?
I would think so. Certainly, you know, maybe after the game, have those guys come back, you know, to the locker room. A lot of times when those things happen, Andy, the former players don't necessarily get to the game until maybe 1 or 2 minutes till tip-off. So probably won't be able to see those guys before, but hopefully, you know, we'll have an opportunity to interact with the former players with our current guys. Thank you.